Noctis Labyrinth is an incredible adventure module written by Duan Fierro Arrasol. Set in the barren land of the Red Desert, this game has players search for artifacts buried deep inside a maze of caverns and tunnels. It's written for World of Dungeons, a free TTRPG by John Harper. The entire game is 6 pages long, so it's very easy to learn. Noctis Labyrinth contains 3 modules: Finding the Singing Stone, a quick start adventure, Renegade Wizard, a one-shot scenario, and Fire Eyes Ruin, a dungeon crawling module. In Finding the Singing Stone, characters dive into the maze of caverns to complete quests for various factions. This adventure is designed to be no prep. In fact, there are step-by-step instructions on how to run it without prep, which is extremely handy. I'd love to see more games do this. In the character creation section, there are class options unique to the Noctis Labyrinth setting, as well as a whole new class called the Reliquarian, adventurers who recover artifacts buried in the Red Desert. There's also character sheets that are pre-filled for each class, with instructions for character creation on the back. To get started, the GM lays the 4 quest cards on the table. Players choose freely among these cards to pick their mission. The map shows the location of different landmarks, as well as where a couple quests can be found. It's followed by details about each landmark, such as the Lost Camp. Each describes what characters notice depending on what they roll. Again, super helpful in a zero prep game. There's a list of moves characters can make, some of which are unique to this adventure, like crossing the Red Desert. And near the end of the adventure, there's a bunch of encounters, such as Desert Demons Watch Over Us. I love how these encounters are designed. The writing is snappy, and each is accompanied by gorgeous art. The next module is a 1-hour encounter about confronting the renegade wizard Camolodon, who fled with the tablets of the Spiral Etherlock. When the characters find Camolodon, he's in the middle of a ritual. The GM keeps a clock that represents the completion of the ritual, and there's descriptions of what happens when each segment is filled. There's a very cool art spread of the battleground with various details that could be relevant to the encounter. This is just a piece of it here. There's also a bunch of details about Camolodon, not just his stats, but also his background, motives, and magic. This module wraps up with 4 pre-generated characters, all of whom I love so much. One detail I love about Noctis Labyrinth is that these 4 characters appear throughout the game's art. Finally, we have Fire Eyes Ruin, a dungeon crawl through a crashed exploration ship that got its name from the 2 propulsion boosters that ignite in the dark of the cave. First, players decide their marching order, which gives each of them different roles. Similar to Finding the Singing Stone, there are adventure-specific moves that players can make. There's a map of the ship, followed by descriptions of each room. One of my favorites has got to be the Chamber of Glass Sarcophagi. I think one of the best parts of this adventure is the entire page of audio logs that you can find on the ship, which is incredibly fun. Finally, there's a table of random events, which I'm not going to show because of spoilers, as well as stat blocks for monsters and NPCs. Huge thank you to the designer for gifting me this copy. Noctis Labyrinth is an impressive adventure module with beautiful art and incredible game design. You can find it at mrdrhobo.itch.io.